Okay, students, in the second part, the first part I taught you that the author hired an instructor. He employed an instructor to learn swimming. But he was convinced that without the help of instructor, he would not be able to learn this thing. So how the instructor helped him out? Let's learn. He went to the pool. He practiced 5 days a week. The instructor put a belt around him. Look, he knew that if he was not tied with something, if he's not tied with belt, that belt was even tied with the rope. Okay, then if the instructor would not have control over him, his fear would seize him, and the chances were that he would not be able to come out of it. So a rope attached to the belt went through a pulley. On each trip across the pool, a bit of panic seized him. Whenever he went inside the water, on every trip, what happened? That fear covers him. That fear actually sees him. That fear has command over him. So it was 3 months before the tension began to disappear. 3 months passed, and now he learned how to conquer his fear of water. Then he taught the narrator how to put his face under water and exhale. The thing was that then he started learning that what he should do to keep his face underwater and exhale. So it was very difficult, but he learned it out. And then he learned how to raise his nose and inhale, because every now and then you need to take proper amount of oxygen to in your system, so that your swimming process becomes easier. You would be easily able to swim on the surface. He repeated the exercise hundred of times. Look, the key is that practice makes the man success, and what he did a lot of practice of swimming, and at last he succeeded. Next, the instructor taught him how to kick with his legs, because the problem was that his feet every time they got paralyzed, and his feet were not working when he was underwater. So the instructor taught him that how you can use your feet when you are underwater. So he taught him actually that how to kick with his legs. For weeks he did it, just that for weeks he did nothing, but he learned the art of using his kicks underwater. At first his legs refused to work. First of all, what happened? His legs were not working because his legs were under stress. He was scared, he was frightened. But finally, he could command them. At last, the instructor made him a real swimmer. Step by step, piece by piece, he built a swimmer inside him, and he became a very good swimmer. But he still feared to be alone in the pool. Still, he had that fear, because he had that bad experience with the bad boy, with that bully who actually threw him inside the water. So he had that fear to be alone into the pool. This went on until July. So he went to the lake Wentworth and died off at a dock at Triggs Island. So he went to different places to try out his art of swimming, and he wanted to actually take a test of himself, that whether his fear would come back or not. And he swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamtec Island. He started from Lake Wentworth and he actually stopped at Stamtec Island. This was a place. Okay, he swam for 2 miles and the fear fled. His fear actually went away and he swam on. Finally, he had conquered his fear of water. So what does this chapter all about? Actually, this chapter teaches us that if you want to conquer your fear in life, then the most important thing is that you have to make your own efforts. The more efforts you put in, like when sometimes when we have a lot of problems making sentences, but at that point of time, what you need to do, if you practice more, if you give your 100%, then really nobody can stop us. In life is ongoing, really. Life never stop us, or no, we can say we never stop learning from life. Life always keeps on teaching us. So the experience left a deep meaning. So this experience of learning swimming, it actually provided him a new meaning to life. It was a unique experience for him. It left a deep imprint in his mind. It had a deep effect on his mind. He could never forget it. It had a deep meaning for him, because now he understood that in life we have, in life we have so many fear, like the fear called thanatophobia. Now what is thanatophobia? Thanatophobia is very common fear, the fear of death. Everybody has that fear of death, that at certain or any point of life, because death is unpredictable and uncertain. We never know at what point in our life we are going to die. But that fear continuously and constantly keeps on making us feel that we are going to perish, we are going to die. But if we just get completely encompassed by this fear, then we would never be able to come out of it. So better what we need to do, we just need to give our best, okay, to ourselves, so that we can come out of it. And there is saying in English, if you a little progress every day, if you give your little effort every day, adds up to big result in life. So if you give your 5% today, so that 5% would turn into 10, that 10 would lead you 20, 30, 40, you never know when you would cross 90%. But you have to start from somewhere, from a scratch. We need to start, and that starting in life will allow us to be more successful in life. Like in this lockdown age, in this lockdown period, if you really feel you want to give your best, that you can. But when you can give your best only if you have that desire, nahi, yes, I want to do this thing, मुझे ये कुछ करना ही है, I just want to prove myself. You can do that. You can learn number of things. It is said that with 500 extra hours in a year, one can entirely learn a new subject if he is determined, if he really wants to do that. So but the problem is that we are surrounded by so many distractions. But that distraction, who has created? We have created those distractions. So distractions, these attractions are distraction. Our friends, okay, our life, our mobile phone, and the list is numberless. And look, this is the time where you are supposed to give your best. Live your life in the most constructive way. Okay. But this living, change your lifestyle. Live the life of self-restraint. Control your mind, control your body, control your senses. Look, we know that this is really very difficult, but nothing is impossible in this world. We get sometimes flown away, we get carried away, we get fascinated by so many things. Oh, you feel, oh wow, this is beautiful, I should follow this thing or that thing, and you never know that we are actually wasting our most constructive time, and we end up getting nothing in life. So at that point of time, you have a lot of regret that you didn't get what you wanted to. So it is better, it is my advice to you, whatever the goal you have, write that goal on a piece of paper, then stick it somewhere in your bedroom or somewhere where you can see it every day, and give self affirmation to yourself. Look at that thing at least 50 times a day, so that sentence, that aim gets completely rooted in your mind. and you keep on thinking over it, and you never know, after some time you start acting upon it, and it will lead you to actions. And it is said that when your thoughts are translated into actions, those actions will lead you to success. These are actually this is the sentence spoken by our late president Abdul Kalam. Okay, so those dreams which actually we have, okay, in the night, but those dreams actually come and go. This kind of dreams are useless if these dreams are not helpful for our life. If these dreams, if you don't make your dreams come true, then it is really futile. It would not give you any good result. So this chapter basically teaches us that as human beings we should give our best. We should keep on giving our best to our society, our family, and first of all to ourselves. And if you give that best, to whom you are doing better things, you are actually doing good things to yourself first. And if you are 100%, then it would benefit your society, your family, and the entire nation. And I'm not saying that you just start giving your superhuman efforts just by tomorrow. Just first of all, we need to be human first. Okay, we can't be superhuman in a 2 days or 3 days. Rome was not built in a day. So we need to control our mind first. And how you can control your mind? Just by practicing. Look, we have a natural urge to keep on looking into our phone, that what message has come. You just every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, we just look into it, what notification you have received. Look, this kind of habit is actually making us useless. We know that even after 2 or 3 hours, so just control yourself for 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5, 7 hours. Really, that self-restraint, that self-control will actually make you superhuman being. And really, if you really want to increase your knowledge, then control your mind and actually, you know, spend your time reading such books that can enrich your knowledge. And nowadays, reading books really has gone extinct. Students nowadays are less interested reading anything really beyond their studies, anything except their textbook. They are less interested. They feel, why should I read anything beyond that? Because this is not going to be asked in exam. Look, we are not supposed to read something for exam only. Just don't read. Just don't be the just don't be a parrot. Okay, just keep on cramming. Okay, and really, if you form this kind of habit, that nobody is going to employ us. People will get interest in us only when we have some originality, when we have our own thoughts, when we have our own understanding. So that originality in life will help you to be more successful. But what I have wanted to explain you is that you should restrain your senses. Okay, that you should not always get carried away by your these gadgets. These gadgets are our servant. We are not the servant of these gadgets. We feel sometimes we are enslaved. These teenagers nowadays, they are enslaved by technology. This technology is our servant. Okay, we are using this technology for teaching you that you would have more knowledge. Okay, so this is actually the purpose of, look, if you are more techno savvy, if you have more technological knowledge, but that knowledge should be in a way, that knowledge should be in a proper direction that can make you more successful, more industrious, more imaginative, more powerful, more constructive. But when this can happen only if you control your mind. But that controlling of your mind would come only if you control your desires. Okay, you have a desire of watching a web series, And once you start, sir, really, after watching one episode, I can't control myself. Look, I know that it is really more addictive, but you should really come out of it. Watch it, okay, entertainment to some extent, it is okay. We can say, like, you can watch it for half an hour, 1 hour is good, okay. To that extent, it's okay. But the thing is that whatever you watch into that series or in that movie, you completely imitate that life into your real life, and then the real problems start. You feel, oh, that person has done this thing in that series, okay, what about if I do that? Look, we are hooked up by, like, take an example of that fishing rod. The producer and the director of such web series, they hook up. Once you are hooked up watching such silly things, then we feel, oh, this thing, if it happens in my life, look, real life and real life both are very different, okay. What we watch on in movies and what we watch on screen, actually, in the disclaimer it is written that the fiction, whatever you're watching, is actually an act of fiction. It is fictitious. If anything happens, okay, then it is nothing but a coincidence. But we as human beings, we feel, oh, my life would be beautiful if that girl or boy comes in my life. But this kind of things are not going to happen. Really, we should not be demotivated by some things. We should be more focused in our studies. Just do such efforts that can actually make you more powerful. Control your brain, control your senses, okay. Put your energy in a proper way, okay. Watching such things, actually, really, we are running out of energy, and as we have wasted our energy by in wrong means, in wrong ways. So I advise you, students, that it is better for you that you focus yourself on constructive, powerful things, and make a goal of your life. Write that goal on a piece of paper, stick it in your bedroom somewhere where you can see it every day. See that thing at least 50 times, 60 times a day, and think of it, how I can achieve this thing. Really, really, you would not believe, but 101% you can achieve it. You can do that, but you can do only when you want to give your best to yourself, okay. So with this thing, I would like to conclude. So you have understood the real meaning of this chapter. This chapter is basically that डर के आगे जीत है. डर के आगे तभी जीत है जब हम अगर पॉजिटिव सोचें. लेकिन कैसा पॉजिटिव? ऐसा पॉजिटिव कि जिसके अंदर हमारी लाइफ बने. ऐसा पॉजिटिव नहीं कि मैं अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ ओके टाइम वेस्ट करता रहूँ, वो भी पॉजिटिव है, मैं भी पॉजिटिव हूँ, और फिर पता चले लाइफ नेगेटिव हो गई है. सो लाइफ शुड नॉट गेट नेगेटिव, बिकॉज लाइफ एक्चुअली कहते हैं कि लाइफ नेवर स्टॉप्स फॉर एनीबॉडी. लाइफ किसी के लिए ठहरती नहीं है. अगर तुम अपने आप को अभी कुछ नहीं पाओगे, इफ़ यू डोंट गिव योर 100% टुडे, रियली that future belongs to those people who work hard in present. So my advice to all of you, give your best today to make your career tomorrow. Best of luck. Good night.